And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was the moment that Geraint Thomas lost all hopes of winning the Giro d'Italia in 2020. Literally meters into the stage, and Geraint Thomas came down on a runaway bidon, and it was clear from the way he struggled to get up that all wasn't right with him. He managed to finish the stage, albeit 12 minutes down, but he didn't look happy coming over the line. And for us Brits, another body blow this morning, as he'd been officially withdrawn from this year's Giro after scans found a fractured pelvis. We're going to be getting into that news story shortly. Hello everyone and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show. We're going to continue that story of Geraint Thomas withdrawing from this year's Giro shortly. But first up, make sure if you've not done already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Now you don't have to hit that notification bell. You won't get many YouTubers telling you that, but I don't want to spoil your Giro viewing experience. So if you don't watch the highlights till later, unclick that notification bell so you don't get notified when I send videos live. Once you've watched the highlights, pop in, get involved in the chat, because what I've realised is once you've watched the highlights on TV, you've not really got anywhere to have your say and have your thoughts, but you can down in the comments below. And what I love about the community out there is their respect of one another. Yes, we all have different opinions down there in the chat, but on the whole, the majority of you respect everyone else's opinion. So please leave your comments down below. Now, one comment I will pick up on is this one. From Jerry Milford, he said, "Love the show, but you seem to go out of your way to not mention Americans in any race. While discussing the top 10, you spoke about everyone but the American UAE rider. Furthermore, when describing Greg's crash, however, there was also an American rider from EF who also hit the road furniture. Why are you going out of your way to diminish their presence?" Jerry, like I said in the comments, I'm really not. So just for Jerry, I'm going to give you my top 3 American riders currently in the Giro d'Italia. In third place, UAE rider Joe Dombrowski. In at number 2, and 8th place on yesterday's stage, it's Brandon McNulty. Now the reason I like him is because he shares the same name as Jimmy McNulty from The Wire. And in at number 1 is my favourite American rider currently riding the Giro d'Italia. It's of course Lawson Fanny Craddock. So there you go, they are currently my favourite Americans in the Giro d'Italia. Listen, I'm not going out of my way to not mention anybody. However, I do understand that because I am British and I have friends within the peloton, I often become very patriotic and biased towards them, and I will gravitate towards and talk about people that I know more about. It makes me sound like I'm intelligent. So apologies to any nation out there if you feel like I don't give your riders enough time. Feel free to leave your comments down below if you want me to shout out or call out any of your favourite riders. Anyway, let's get back into that story of Geraint Thomas. So over on the Ineos Grenadiers website, Geraint Thomas has been withdrawn from the Giro d'Italia ahead of stage 4 after further scans revealed a fracture of his pelvis following yesterday's crash. Geraint said, "Alright boyo, it's so frustrating. I put in so much work in this race. I did everything I could and I feel like I was in just as good, if not better shape than I was when I won the bloody Tour. I was feeling really good. So for it to just end like this, it's gutting. I was really up for starting today. I woke up and wanted to start with the boys and at least help them go for the stages over the next few days. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. So we went to get these extra scans. It does make the decision easier when there's a fracture in some ways, because obviously I don't want to do any more damage." And breaking news, Geraint Thomas appears to be from Asia somewhere. I can't quite pinpoint that accent. But yeah, absolutely gutted for G, absolutely gutted for Ineos Grenadiers. Like I said last night, this potentially might set the tone for the rest of the Tour now that we see what we saw in the Tour de France, with Mikhail Kwiatkowski going on the attack, Richard Carapaz going on the attack, just them mixing it up, changing it up, going for stage wins, just being, what's the word, disruptive within the peloton instead of sticking to their standard routine of chasing down breaks, maintaining high pace and not allowing anybody to attack. So yeah, I reckon there's still going to be some silver linings to those clouds from Ineos. And it's clear that Geraint Thomas still has his sense of humour after he posted this on his on his Instagram story this morning. He doesn't watch the show, but G, get well soon, man. I hope this is not the end for Geraint. I don't think it's the end of his career, but the guy's been through the mill. Like, if you added the amount of crashes he's had to the amount of crashes between him and Swifty, they've probably had the majority of the crashes within the professional peloton. And it's amazing to see them coming back, and it's amazing to see them have that spirit. But you can't help thinking that one more crash could give them a career-ending injury, or they just decide, you know what, I've been beat up, I've achieved what I want. He's got a Tour de France, don't forget. Maybe this is the moment he goes, you know what, I'm all right. I'm not going to push for any more Grand Tours. I'm going to be a domestique, bring these younger riders through, or he's just going to simply go, do you know what, I don't need this anymore, and quit. But hopefully that's not the case, and we will see him back very, very soon. G, get well from me. And obviously G wasn't the only rider to have troubles yesterday. Simon Yates was in a lot of trouble by the looks of it. He just couldn't match the pace that was set by Trek Segafredo up the road. Even though his team had set the pace early on in the stage, it appeared that he was in good shape. It looked, you know, from what the team said, they didn't see anything wrong with him. But as they started to climb up Etna, it was clear that he was going out the back, and all that hard work that the team had put in was really for nothing. And another thing that I don't think helped them was the fact that Trek Segafredo, as they hit Etna, were just on the front with this monstrous pace, and I don't think anybody was really ready for that in terms of the team of Mitchelton Scott. And I think that accentuated that issue that Simon Yates had. But according to Matt White, you know, they're still in with a shot, and over on their website he said this: the boys did a good job controlling the breakaway, and we didn't have any indication at the time that Simon wasn't on a good day. Then, when we did get an indication, Trek Segafredo had already taken over, and they did a job there to try and maybe put some time into Geraint and push the pace. Then, when Simon lost the time today, it was just about limiting our losses. It's a long race, everyone has a bad day. Unfortunately for us, it was early in the race. Hopefully that's the last one. We were looking at coming from the front, but I guess taking it from behind is just as nice. The Giro is always won in the last week. The Giro is always won in the last week. It's always a brutal finish, and there's a long time between now and then. We'll reassess, see what's happened, and take it day by day. As cliche as it is. Sport. Who knew Matt White was Colombian? Never knew that. Anyway, Simon Yates is going to have to pull a proverbial rabbit out of the hat if he wants to get back into contention for this year's Giro d'Italia. Was it a one-off? Was it a bad day? Is he going to come back stronger? Who knows? I always think that you have one bad day and it never gets any better from there. But then again, we saw Tadej Pogacar at this year's Tour de France, and that's not necessarily the case. So fingers crossed we are going to see Yatesy in there. Whether he's lost too much time to actually get the win, who knows. But it could spur him on to do what Chris Froome did to him in 2018 and potentially go for a long one and make a bid for the podium that way. But I guess we'll see in the next coming weeks. And as ever, leave your comments down below on this one. I know you left your comments yesterday on it, but let's get an update on that. The fact that G is now out of the Tour is going to inspire a lot of those riders to try and get that #1 spot. Do we think Vincenzo Nibali can take victory at this year's Giro now? I'm kind of rooting for him a little bit. Although I still want Simon Yates to win. Next up, and the gift that keeps on giving, it's the EF Pro Cycling Giro d'Italia limited edition kit from Rafa. If you want to get your hands on it, it's not going to be as simple as placing an order. You are going to have to become a Rafa Cycling Club member. Now, over on the Rafa website, they say to give our members the best possible chance of securing a piece of the switch out kit, the Rafa Cycling Club has managed to secure a very limited run of team edition race clothing and casual wear. Members will have exclusive early access from Friday the 9th of October. Stay tuned for more information. And then under that it says the collection will be available to members who are active on or before Sunday the 4th or have renewed a previously lapsed membership since that date. Now the casual merchandise, that does look good, right? That's exactly where the Palace logo and Palace design team need to be, right there on the casual clothing. However, the team kit is growing on me, all right, I'll admit it's growing on me a little bit, but it's not my cup of tea. But what I'm most looking forward to seeing is Rafa club members getting hold of this kit and wearing that casual gear. We're going to see like, what, 50, 60-year-olds wearing hoodies again. Nice. Anyway, yeah, if you want to get hold of that stuff, you're going to have to become a Rafa member. To become a Rafa member, it costs around 70 quid. So you've got to pay up front just to get in there to stand a chance of getting it. then you've got to hope it doesn't all sell out. And then when you do come to buy it and you get to that checkout, there are no prices at the minute over on the website. But it's highly likely you're going to have to remortgage your house just to get your bib shorts, your cap, and your jersey on this one. And imagine the resale value on that. To be fair, it's going to be a collector's item, and I think the majority of people that buy this are not actually going to wear it. Anyway, leave your comments down below on this one. Let me know, are you willing to become a Rapha club member and pay the membership fee just to stand a chance of potentially getting hold of this kit? Or is that a little bit cheeky from Rapha to expect you to become members to get hold of this kit? Marketing, innit? All right, then let's crack on with it. Stage 4 got underway without the race favourite Geraint Thomas, but that's not to say the action wasn't hot. So stage 4 got underway with a 3-man breakaway going up the road. In there was Frapotti, Pritchard and Gradek. Potentially. I could have mullered those names. Now, looking at the profile of this stage, you'd be forgiven for thinking that this was at least a hilly stage, but the Giro organisers class this as a flat stage. It is a third cat climb right in the middle, and Bora Hansgrohe decided to take up the pace and drive it hard to try and drop a few of those out-and-out sprinters, similar to what we saw in the Tour de France. And with a kilometre to go, it was FDJ at the front dictating the pace. They were clearly working for Arnaud Démare. He'd made his way over that third cat climb, as had Peter Sagan, as had Davide Ballerini. But you can see here that Miles Scottson got the jump on everybody. What a shrewd move by FDJ. I don't know if he was just feeling super strong and he just dropped them by mistake, or this was the plan, but it meant that the lead-out riders for the other teams had to burn their matches way earlier than they were expecting. Scottson was caught, but he was timed perfectly for Arnaud Démare, who was left with one lead-out rider, and the sprint started with Sagan taking the lead, and it looked like Sagan was going to take victory. However, Arnaud Démare just pipped him at the line. It was a straight photo finish between Davide Ballerini, Peter Sagan and Arnaud Démare, but Arnaud Démare took the victory, changing absolutely diddly squat on that GC. And that was stage 4 in the books. The only other thing we should really mention is the state of the roads on that descent from that third cat climb. You have never seen anything like it. There were just potholes everywhere. Anyway, job done for another day. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you don't mind spoilers, if you've disliked the video for whatever reason, leave your comments down below, hit that dislike button, and I'll see you all tomorrow.